Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use Excel here to look at some car purchase or lease options. So someone just asked me a little bit ago about leasing a car, which I don't really know much about, so I could probably use your help on this particular spreadsheet. So I'll definitely ask in the comments, leave some information that I've left out of this scenario, this analysis really. So I'm looking at a Honda Pilot EXL. I just happened to find an ad for that, and I also wanted to use a car that's been around for 10 years so I could easily see kind of what private party resale values were and things like that. So in the first scenario, I'm looking at the lease, and I'm basing it off of this ad that I found. And I know you can't see that, it's really tiny, so I was just kind of looking at the fine print. And it looks like $9.99 or $1,000 is due at signing, but in the fine print it does say that includes the first payment. So when I did calculate total spent here, I'm taking the monthly payment times the 36 months for this lease, and I'm subtracting one monthly payment, and then I'm adding in the $9.99. Now I'm also adding in some other costs during the lease, and the reason I'm doing that because I didn't have that at first, and I was coming up with a total spent of about $15K. However, in the fine print of the ad, it does say the total lease charge is going to be about $18,000, and I'm not quite sure where that comes from. I don't know if there's a fee you pay when you turn the lease in. I don't know if there's some other upfront costs that they charge. Now, this is on 10,000 miles per year, and they charge extra if you go over that. So I did, okay, I'll assume 35,000, and I just played around other costs during the lease. For $2,500, that gets me close to what I see in the fine print of the ad, so that seemed like a reasonable guess. But if you know leases, then maybe let me know. Is there something critical that I'm missing? And I know I'm leaving out a number of little things, like tax, tag, and title. I'm in Oregon, there's no sales tax, but obviously tax and title, destination charges, and stuff like that are the same. However, I wasn't too worried about including those, because if the cost is going to be normal for any other car you buy, especially another new car, then it didn't really seem imperative to have that in the comparison. So based on my data here, I'm estimating that the 3-year cost for this new car lease would be about $17,500. Now, if we compare that if we were to purchase a new car, so purchasing the 2021 Honda Pilot EXL. Now I am going with a price a little bit under MSRP. MSRP was listed as like 41. I'm assuming you can buy that for 38. Putting down a down payment of 19 large. Also assuming, well, you've got that money somewhere, either from a prior car that you've sold or something like that. I'm assuming you're not just getting a new car cold without any money to put down, or without having some other prior car that you recently sold. So you're borrowing the rest, 36 months, 1.9% interest rate. And I'm just grabbing that from my credit union. They've got a deal, 1.5% interest rate for up to 48 months. And this is for cars that are as old as 5 years. I know that's a pretty good rate. You probably have to have a pretty good credit rating for that, but I'll assume all things being equal. And that gets you a monthly payment of about $550. Total spent is $38,000, but after 3 years, assuming there are 35,000 miles on the car, that car should be worth about $29,000 after those 3 years. So even though it's got the largest monthly payment of my 4 scenarios, this actually ended up having the lowest net cost if I'm calculating the key things correctly. And that's because you bought that car brand new, and after 3 years it still has a pretty reasonable value for a 3-year-old Honda. So that's not a bad way to go. Now I compared that to buying a 2018. So now I'm looking at buying a 2018, which is obviously worth about $29,000. I'm still assuming I've got 19 large to put down. Now I did a finance on this one just because the credit union had a good deal, and the payment for that would be stupid low, under $300 a month. However, now it's 3 years later, and that 2018 is now a 2015 vehicle, And so the value after 36 months is down to 19 grand. And the difference, the outlay, is actually just a bit more than having purchased a new car. I was kind of surprised by that. I figured the deal, or the net cost of buying a 2018 would be better than a 2021. Now, part of that could be because I'm looking at a Honda, which I hear they hold their value really well. I drive a Ford Transit, so it's an American vehicle. It may not hold the same value, and certainly compared to this. So my car was several years old when I bought it, and it had about 65,000 miles on it, and it was definitely less than 19. So who knows? Now, and that gets me to the last scenario here. This is buying a used car, definitely 2015 Honda Pilot EXL, 19 grand based on private resale using Kelley Blue Book. I'm assuming you're not getting a loan for that kind of car, and you're just buying it straight out. Now, so of course there's no payment for that one because you're buying it straight out, and this one did have the best net cost because even after 3 years of this 2015 car, it now is even older, and I'm assuming it's going to have around 95 or 100,000 miles at the end. It still has a basic value of 12 grand, so then you could resell that if you want to. So based on this scenario, I like this option the best, and this is the personal method I use. I buy older cars in the $14,000 to $18,000 range, no loan on those kinds of things. Yeah, so that's kind of the best option. However, what seems like a second best option, especially if you're just hankering for a really new car, is buying new, assuming you can get a really great interest rate. The downside is it's like a $38,000 car, which is kind of huge. And I am a fan of the Dave Ramsey plan, and he always says in his program that the value of your cars, all of them, should never equal more than half of your salary. So if this was the only car you had, this would indicate that, boy, you should be making at least 76 grand a year in order to rationalize that, even at the least. But still, probably better to go with the slightly used or the slightly more used option. However, I think even with this scenario, we can kind of all see that leasing is the worst way to go under normal circumstances. There could be some little caveat. I hear, like, if you're an employee at a dealership, or if you work for a particular car manufacturer, sometimes they will give you a special lease deal, which is, insanely low and probably a good value. But obviously that's not most of us. So leasing, as it makes sense, would you rather buy a home or rent a home, lease a home? Well, if you can afford it, you'd rather buy the home. It's just going to be more advantageous in the long term. So leasing is definitely the worst way to go, cost-wise, out-of-pocket-wise, because you're spending all that money over the 3-year period, and after the 3-year period, you've got nothing to show for it. Okay, so that's my scenario. I know I'm leaving some stuff out, so let me know in the comments what could make this comparison calculator a little bit more accurate. I'm not looking for perfection here, but I'm definitely, if I'm missing something big in my thought process here, let me know so we can improve this. Thanks. Take care.